Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am just going to say, basically, I told you so. In my last video, I had said this jackass was arrested for the subway shooting in New York that was originally called a terrorist attack. You notice that shit has been dropped. And it now is, according to CBS News, just suspect in Brooklyn subway shooting. Frank Robert James. Where did the terrorist attack go? Can terrorists only be white? Because I guarantee you, if this had been a white man that was spouting the racist bullshit that this guy was, that the terrorist attack and terrorist shit would have been sung to the high heavens, and that this would have been headline news for a hell of a long time. Unlike now, you barely hear about it. You might not hear about it because the media doesn't care. If you're getting your information from the mainstream media, you are being lied to. You are being played. Another example is the Black Lives Matter thing, that I think it's ironic that that organization is falling apart because of those behind it that were basically not wanting to report taxes. Yeah, that's, talk about irony. But the symbol for Black Lives Matter, this was something that anybody could have known when that shit began. Because anybody with a functioning brain would realize Black Lives Matter didn't give fuck all about black lives. The majority of those behind it were white liberals. Most black people saw right through it. Because when it comes to Black Lives Matter didn't care if the color scheme didn't fit. There was a black police officer there were multiple black police officers and so forth that were killed, but there was one that was close to retirement, or he had retired. And he was simply defending and protecting a store that a friend had. And he was killed. And he was black. But Black Lives Matter didn't give a fuck about him. Black Lives Matter doesn't care about the children, the black children that are gunned down in Chicago. Hell, Don Lemon on CNN had essentially said that it's not about black on black crime, that basically start your own movement. If you're going to say Black Lives Matter, then you should have it be about all black lives, not just those that fit your narrative. Because that means you don't really care about black lives. All you care about is what that symbol actually goes back to: communism. Those that were behind it are the same ones, or the same ilk, of those that are behind CRT, critical race theory, which is racist to its core. Critical race theory is about promoting segregation, keeping races divided. But the liberals have gone absolutely stupid because they do not realize that they are being played. They are being played like a fiddle by the media and any other organization or movement that comes along. It doesn't matter which movement you want to go to. If you want to try going to this idea, and it boggles my mind how anyone could be a judge and not be able, and be a woman, and not be able to define what a woman is. That is somebody that is so consumed by the narrative that they're trying to put forward, or as I've heard some put it, the frameworking. They want to have a way to twist anything to fit the framework of what their pet thing is. But when you want to have, and you try to have, a biological male competing in sports against biological females, even though that biological male has had undergone estrogen and so forth, supposed treatments to transition to being a woman, a lot of times they still have genitals, they still have the dick. And I even heard of one that there was a person that was a biological male arrested as a transitioning to a female, put in a female prison, and ended up raping women in the prison and getting them pregnant. This is the kind of insanity that the left has to support, because this is something that if you're going to try and go with this gender is defined by what you want to make it, that's horseshit. Excuse me, that's horseshit. Gender is defined by XY chromosome or XX chromosome. It is a biology issue. And don't hand me this shit. I've seen reports of it that there are teachers that are teaching first graders that when doctors identify a gender at birth, that they're guessing. They're not guessing. They're looking between your fucking legs. Do you have a dick or don't you? The percentage of people that are born what would be termed hermaphrodite. I had seen this with, and I want to give a shout out to Louder with Crowder. It's 0.018%. If the margin that you're trying to shove your bullshit into only affects 0.018% of the population, that's next to nobody. The problem with having those that were born biologically male competing with those that were born biologically female in sporting events is the females will never stand a chance. It will destroy female sports. It is absolute absurdity. But this is where the left has gone. And the media, they have their narrative. So it doesn't matter what the story is. If the story doesn't fit the narrative, they're not going to run with it. Now, with the aspect of the slap thing, that wasn't just run with by the media. That was something that was picked up by everybody. People were buying into that bullshit. But the thing is, that is a matter of people not recognizing what is basically a publicity stunt. something that is done for attention. The thing is, what we have in our world is more propaganda than news. And a lot of times, what is put forward as news is actually opinion. The news is no longer the news. When I grew up, there was Walter Cronkite that he would come on and just tell you the news. He wouldn't give you his fucking opinion. He would simply tell you what the news is and let you make up your own mind. The thing is, the media and the news channels realized news is big business. That the news was getting better ratings, so they started using that as the platform to push whatever bullshit they wanted to. The news is no longer about giving you the news. It is spun to being either Republican leaning or Democrat leaning. I have issues with both sides of it because I don't agree with the God bullshit. But in the scheme of things, if I'm going to have to make a choice, I would sooner deal with the Jesus freaks than the wannabe communists. It just, because the left is losing its mind, completely losing its mind. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.